to one side and you just disregard it completely. That's called deletion. You can distort something, which is you can create a generalization. You can say, well, everybody's got a pension scheme or everybody's got a mortgage extension, therefore that's okay. So that's a distortion. And if you look at all of the actions that have been taking place through this process, you can also identify that they're the same actions despite the circumstances have changed. So the whole situation around propping up the economy, propping up house prices, they're all what's happened before. There's very little and that's a sign of no thinking going on, Ollie. So this is a catch-22 trap. And of course, if you don't address the right issue, you end up creating rework. So some of the rework currently is quite subtle, actually, but it's things like fudging the insolvency legislation. So there's a whole raft of technicalities that are taking place there around creating a window of letting directors off for trading to the detriment of creditors. That's one thing. The extending the furlough scheme, the logic around that in terms of the words really matter. So in my view, that should be a window, a grant, to a restructuring grant rather than a loan, because this is a one-off hit, and that would then encourage people to say, right, I need to use this time, but by creating a loan, you're creating effectively creating an addiction to government funding. And at the moment, Ollie, the level of this crisis is quite extraordinary, because effectively capitalism has fallen to pieces, utterly unique, and everybody's gone back to the state. They're going back to the nanny state, regardless if you're left wing, right wing, whichever wing you are. There are very few people that can cope, and when people can't cope, this is the worst situation for human beings, but uncertainty is the one thing we can't cope with.